welcome to another episode of Hidden in Universal Vault, or Extended Edition of Hidden Universal Vault. I'm Ron, your host, and I thought we would go ahead and take a look at a biographical pick. This is a biographical pick that stars Cher, Sam Elliott, and Eric Stoltz from director Peter Bogdanovich, 1985's Mask. Yeah, Mask. And for this review, I watched the director's cut. I watched director's cut since this is the only way to watch the movie on DVD is the director's cut. And this is released from the Girls' Night In. So, yeah. Now, before I go on with my actual review, I'm going to talk about how director Peter Bogdanovich came up with this idea. Well, Bogdanovich, alongside Anna Hamilton Phelan, another movie I covered that she wrote was Gorillas in the Mist. That was the other movie I covered that she wrote. It's also the director photographer is Lazo Kolovich and produced by Martin Stinger. So anyways, Mask. Now, how this also came with the idea was, well, Bogdanovich made a movie the idea came from in 1980 when Bogdanovich was dating Playboy model Dorothy Stratton. This is also in the featurette what I've watched on here. So basically, they were going to see Elephant Man, and Bogdanovich found out about the idea of wanting to make a movie that was similar to Elephant Man. Well, when Stratton was murdered, he just got finished with his New York comedy They All Laughed, 1981. But when Stratton was murdered, he took a big hiatus off. So 4 years later, during the filming of this, he came up with making Mask. So that's basically the gist of how the idea of that movie came up. So now that I got out of the way, let's actually talk about Mask. So the movie stars obviously Cher alongside Sam Elliott. It's the true story of Rocky Dennis. He was a disfigured human being. He was just, I'll show, there'll be some photos in there, in the video. So, he's this disfigured human being, but he's also very smart. He's the smartest, he's a brainiac, basically. So, he's trying to fit in. Her mother is part of a biker group similar to the Hells Angels. So, they live in Los Angeles. The movie is set in Los Angeles. So, right in the beginning of the film, we see him rocking some Bruce Springsteen since the real Rocky Dennis was a big fan of Bruce Springsteen. And Bogdanovich wanted to use Springsteen in the movie. Though when the movie was being made, when it came out theatrically, Universal decided to put Bob Seger music in it. Well, with this director's cut, the Springsteen music is intact. You also get, in addition to Bruce Springsteen, you also get 2 tracks by Steely Dan, you get a track by the Grateful Dead, and you also get you'll also get some Beatles. That comes in the form of a summer camp. So basically, he's with the biker group. Then he meets his best friend, and he's also a baseball card collector. So he's really into getting baseball cards, and he's really into that. So the mother dates another guy. I forget his. I think it's Gur, I think it's Gur, who's played by Sam Elliott, who's sort of becomes his father figure. He becomes his father figure in the movie. And the two of them become best friends. He's getting into the high school, but the school don't want him in there because they think he's mentally challenged. So the mother decides she decides to bring him in, says, "You'll see, if you do not have him come to school, you'll see my lawyer." So eventually, he gets into the school. So he's this really smart guy, and he's just really cool. A really cool guy to hang out with, one of the nicest kids you would like to meet. That kind of thing. So now that I talked about, so what did I think of Mask? Honestly, I really love this movie. This movie is great. It's very sad at times, though I didn't really cry like most people have with this film. But wow, this movie is just great. There's also some scenes in the movie I really like. Oh, an interesting fact, this movie also has Also has a pre-Golden Girls Estelle Getty playing Rocky's grandmother. And his grandfather's played by the other cast member from Golden Girls. So we got, yeah, and I think Richard Dreisen, I think is the grandfather in it. So, really good stuff. He eventually goes, he's telling, also times he tells his mother to kick the drug habits. So, she's like, who are you trying to boss me around? You don't boss me around. I'm the parent around here. So he flips out and he like literally smashed plates and all that. And the mother gets on him by ripping up a baseball card. The two of them do apologize, and he also has these problems. Gets these headaches from the, I forget what it's called, but basically it was the calcium that was not built up when her mom gave birth to her. The calcium didn't build up, so that could also be what it is. And he goes to the doctors regularly, so yeah. There's also another scene. So he meets his grandparents. He gets a bunch of awards he doesn't graduate, but he goes to graduation. He gets a bunch of these awards, and all the biker guys. There's one biker guy who's like, he didn't speak, so now he talks, and he's like, then they hug. Then we get the grandparents. The grandparents invite him over to a baseball game. Her mother, one of the Golden Girls, is like, I'm glad you're with this guy again. And he basically, like I said, Sam Elliott's character becomes a father figure to Rocky, and again, the two of them become friends. So he gets mad and kicks drug habit, though they do. There's one scene where it's Halloween and they're watching Frankenstein. Bogdanovich, from watching the commentary, he worked with Boris Karloff on a movie called Target in the 1960s, and that's why he wanted that in the movie. Plus, with the universal reference. Sorry if I do that. Let's just go with that. Anyway, so he basically comes back from the ball game, and his mother is on drugs, watching another Universal film, and one I covered on the channel, Margin. Yeah, Margin was the movie I covered. So she watches that, and that's another Universal reference because I actually covered it on the channel. So, yeah, so anyways, and oh yeah, the camp scene, I gotta mention. His teacher asked him, would you like to go to a summer camp for the blind? So he's like, no, I can't, my mother doesn't want me there. It's like, oh, it's free of charge. It's free of charge. It won't cost you anything. So he said, think about it. He said, okay. So at that scene, he tells his mother, I'm going to the summer camp and meet real people. Meet blind people. So he goes to summer camp. He meets up with another camper. Enter Lauren Dern's Diane. She's blind, but the two of them fall in love. And yeah, I did cover another movie with Laura Dern on my channel, and that's October Sky. So you can check that review out as well. So yeah, meets up with her. He meets up with her. They go horseback riding, and the two of them just start liking each other. Then they come back. At the end of the summer camp, they do play some Beatles during New Year's in July. So yeah, then they come back, said, Mom, I think I found a girl I love. And she's excited, and she tells him the good news that I kicked the drug habits. Oh, Cher portrays Rusty Dennis. I forgot to mention that Cher portrays Rusty Dennis, the mother. So I forgot to mention that in it. So it's heartbreaking at the end. It's very sad, and honest to tell you the truth, I didn't really even cry. Now, some people may cry, but it's really hard for me to really cry at a movie. You have to really be that sad in order to cry. The closest I ever cried was Queen and Slim, but that was more of tragic. But I didn't cry at that. I came close to it, but didn't cry. It is a very heartbreaking ending. It doesn't have a good ending, but the credits do make it a really good ending. So, yeah, that's really about it. And I had to say about Mask. So, yeah, I'm going to show you the cover art, though. This is actually the Girls Night In slip. I think I got this at Walmart. My mom got it from Walmart. It's a 2018 slip case. Basically, it's the same. The only difference is it says Director's Cut on the front and widescreen. The movie, when it came out, the movie was rated PG-13. So if you do it, when it came out to theaters, it was PG-13. There are a few cuss words in this. And yeah, there are a few cuss words. Don't bother with that, guys. It's just my folks talking. So, yeah, anyways. So, yeah, I think I showed you the front. Here is what the disc looks like. Some pretty good disc art. And in terms of special features, the two scenes that have been brought back in is Cher singing Little Egypt. And I forgot to mention Red dies. Red passes on. Harry Carey Jr. is Red. That's what's on the back. Though at the very end of the film, you do get Cher talking about this awful, this sort of like disease. Not really disease, but they talk about this foundation. And at the end of the film, you basically get that little mini featurette with Cher talking about this. You get a number on the screen and the website to go to. So if you want to know more into that, that's at the end of the DVD. In terms of actual special features, this does have a conversation with Peter Bogdanovich called Mask Revealed and the feature commentary by Bogdanovich, which I did watch. The songs in here, Bruce Springsteen, Badlands, Thunder Road, Promised Land, Born in the USA is included. Like I said again, they're all included. So this is the director's cut, like I said, and I didn't watch the theatrical version, but honestly, I don't think the theatrical version needs to be watched. This is good, whatever version you watch. So, yeah, is there any negatives in the film? Well, I will easily say the makeup's really good, but sometimes, I don't know, I may be biased of this, but the makeup these days kind of looks a little hokey. Honestly, if they would, it's probably revolutionary, and in fact, this did win the Oscar for Best Makeup. I forget who did it, but it actually, the makeup, yeah, but the makeup, like I said, really revolutionary, but I don't know. Looking at this movie in 2024 may not look perfect, but it's fine, I guess. So, yeah. Another thing is, Laura Dern plays a blind woman, but she doesn't really look blind. I don't know if it's the way her look is, or if they had to totally, really, I don't know what, I'm not even going to get into that, but it can look a little hokey. Again, that's just my opinion. So those are only the negatives that I can really say about the film. So anyways, final verdict, should you see Mask? And I would say yes. At least it's worth viewing once. I'm putting this movie on my best list. I loved it. I didn't really cry, but personally me, it had a special spot in my heart. This is a masterpiece from start to finish. If you can ignore the makeup and maybe Laura Dern's character who's blind, if you can get over those flaws, this movie is still great. This movie's gonna have a spot on my Universal shelf. I will say this. But out of the movies I covered that star Laura Dern that was in a Universal film is still October Sky. Honestly, I think she did a better performance in October Sky. And that was 1999. But I can ignore that. I still like the movie. I think it's great. It is an automatic recommendation. Still making on my best list at the end of the year. So I can recommend that to anybody. I have a feeling I'll watch this one over and over again. And might appreciate it even more. But if you can ignore those two flaws, this movie is still great. So that's all I have to say about Mask. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the stuff that I put on the channel, be sure to come back onto the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that good stuff. Let me know what you think of Mask. Did I miss something that you guys might point out when you watch the movie? But yeah, go check the movie out. It's great. And yeah, do all that good stuff I said before. And yeah, and as always, keep watching those Universal movies. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.